Hey there, Alex here. This is the new TRN TA2. It seems to be a slightly higher-end model compared to the TA1 with a slightly higher price tag and comes with an extra nose PA driver, making it a 1DD plus 2 PA setup. So let's dive right in and see if they are any good. Starting with the non-audio related stuff first, the packaging is pretty simple, but it does come with a nice set of accessories. There are two types of silicone ear tips in different sizes, a pair of foam tips, a 6.5mm adapter, and a nice metal carrying case. The silver-plated cable looks pretty nice too, but can be a little wiggly. The shell design is now a bit more standard looking, so it's a bit of a bummer that I can't use it cable down like the TA1, but it is generally pretty comfortable to use. Noise isolation is just average though. The metal faceplate looks pretty sleek, but I still prefer the design of the TA1. Anyway, another major difference would be the use of a 2-pin connector instead of MMCX. This is probably a good thing considering MMCX is typically a bit less reliable if you swap cables or adapters frequently, but I don't do that often, so it doesn't really bother me either way. Moving on to how they sound, I think these are warm and bassy sounding. Bass is quite elevated, especially in the mid-bass region. Sub-bass extension is decent, but it is a bit on the boomy side for my taste, and not particularly textured. It's not too bad most of the time, but in faster bass-heavy tracks, it can sound a little muddy. Lower mids do have a nice amount of body and presence, and it's the same for the upper mids as well, though certain female vocals might sound a little dull. Like the TA1, there is a noticeable dip between 5 to 7 kHz, which I think is what makes the treble sound smoother and non-fatiguing. Treble is also a bit more polite, and no issues with sibilants as well. But this tuning does make some brighter instruments like cymbals, tambourines and whatnot sound a little splashy and pushed back in the mix. Technical performance is probably below average at this price point. Detail retrieval, imaging, separation and soundstage aren't as good as I was expecting from a hybrid setup with a 1DD and 2 PA drivers. Compared to the TA1, the TA2 has more bass and is noticeably warmer sounding. It has fuller body in the mids, and upper mids are slightly more forward sounding. They are less prone to sibilants, and treble is also a bit more polite, but in this case, I think they are a little too polite, especially when you factor in the warmer sound signature. This might be what they are going for since they're still selling the TA1, and it wouldn't make sense to have two similar sounding models. But personally, if I wanted something a bit warmer sounding with more bass, the KB Ear Robin is only slightly more expensive but has better treble and technical performance. I was hoping the TA2 would be an upgraded version of the TA1 with a bit more bass quantity and quality, less of a dip around the treble region, and better technical performance, or essentially the white version of the TRN TA300 but with better technical performance. But sadly, that's not the case here. Overall, while I do like the nicer set of accessories, and it's still somewhat decent if you're looking for something that is more relaxed sounding, I just don't feel like they're the best value for money. Thanks for watching this video, and see you guys on the next one.